Good evening, Commissioners.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Fran Wilson. I live in Roselle Park. I'm here tonight with a few of my cohorts from that we play golf together. We're here to address some concerns about the Ashbrook Golf Course. Before I start, I want to give you a little background. I am currently the president of the Men's Association at Ashbrook, and we currently have approximately 90 members. Members that have been with the association for over 40 years. I'm retired from the Township of Teaneck after serving 37 years of my career there, and I retired as the Director of Public Works. Recently, I requested an OPRA on ordinances from 2015 to present in reference to Ashbrook. I was given a link to search myself. I have no issue doing the legwork, but your search program didn't work so well, unless it's me getting old. I wanted to go over a few things. In the emails I sent to you, I outlined several issues with the course that lacked attention that it has not been getting. Please keep in mind this has nothing to do with the staff there, because they are doing the best they can with what they have. In my email, I spoke to you, I mentioned flooding issues, dead trees, cart paths, broken irrigation pipes throughout the course, to name a few. I have not even mentioned the building. Before I get into my research, I want to express a few things to you. I know you had some issues with some former employees, but as a resident, I am somewhat upset at the monies you have spent in the past and what you got for your money. Since I've been involved playing at Ashbrook since 2012, one of the projects that was done was the renovation of 2 fairways. That included drainage. I'm not sure who was overseeing this project, but I hope they decided to take up another career, because both those fairways are in total disarray. The same could be said about the new $6 million building that was built. How does one begin to build a project such as that without asking people who work there for their input on what they need? It's clear to the golfers you built a restaurant, not a clubhouse. For example, in our previous building, the golfers had a bathroom they could use at the turn. Now they have to go upstairs, which takes time. Golfers had a meeting room, locker room, etc. Not so now. Previously, we could go there early and get coffee and an egg sandwich. Can't do that anymore. There's no real cooking at the turn. When we finish playing golf, guys want to hang out and have a cocktail or two. We have to sit outside on plastic benches because most of the time the upstairs is rented out for that day. In my research, I came across some ordinances and capital projects. In 2021, ordinance number 825-2021, there was monies appropriated, over $48 million. One of those projects was for renovation of the Ashbrook Golf Course, among other projects. Again, within that $48 million, it was $12 million, over $12 million. I would like to know exactly what those renovations are and if and when they will begin, because everyone that I ask knows nothing. I've been involved as the president for the last several years, hoping things would change. At one point, I was even an employee there until Kemper, our boss, was unhappy that I reached out to one of you, so I decided to quit. In some of my other research, I found another ordinance, 839-2022, for over $3 million for more renovations at Ashbrook and other projects. I don't know what these renovations are. Please help me out. Other capital improvement projects, although I could not find if they were finally approved for funding or they took the funds and used them elsewhere. For example, 2016 to 2021, golf course infrastructure improvement, $1.2 million. Golf course infrastructure, this is capital from 2018 to 23, $1 million. This is capital improvement from 2019 to 2024. Golf course infrastructure, $300,000. Ashbrook Golf, supposed to be cart paths, $1 million. That's 2019 to 2024. This is, and it was appropriated in 2019.
Excuse me, sorry, your 5 minutes are up. Thank you very much for your comments. Is there any other member of the public who's going to speak on the same topic before I have those? Yeah, not a problem. So what we'll do, just to clarify it, any member who wants to speak in reference to the Ashbrook Golf Course, you can speak if you want to, and then we'll address it right afterwards. Okay?
Good evening, Commissioners,
Good evening.
Council. Ms. Palmieri, did your children have a wonderful basketball experience this year?
They did.
That's
Thank
great.
you.
That's great. I'm happy to hear that.
Thank you.
Commissioner Mirabella, your son has a degree in turf management. We certainly have a place that we would be more than happy to embark his skills. So
I'll send him over.
Keep that in mind, please.
Yes.
My name is Dennis Alaco. I've been here before. I'm here again. And obviously, we're talking about the same situation. In fact, I believe some of you, we actually spent a few minutes together when you were over at Ashbrook in the late fall, and I had an opportunity to chat and express some of my concerns at that time. Mr. Wilson has done an outstanding job of outlining some of the concerns in terms of the finances and how they correlate to the work. All right. I'm just going to go through a few things. I don't know if I should be more frustrated as a golfer or as a taxpayer. And I say that with all sincerity. I really do. Because when you think about it, everybody gets frustrated when they have to reach into your pocket and pay your taxes. But we understand that's just a way of life. So when I go to the golf course, that should be my outlet. That should be my opportunity to forget about what goes on in our everyday life for a couple hours, spend some time with comrades and good friends that we have had long-standing relationships with, and go out and enjoy the beauty that the county provides for us. But boy, I'll tell you, it's really tough to do that at Ashbrook. It really, truly is. Contrary to Mr. Graziano, Ashbrook still, in my mind, is the better golf course. It doesn't look it, but in terms of the bones of a golf course, it is. I've had the opportunity and absolute pleasure over the last few years to work in outside operations at both Echo Lake Country Club and Watchung Valley Golf Club. I know just enough about golf operations and maintenance to probably be a little dangerous. So I'm going to preface my comments by that. The problem, and with all due respect to your new director, her credentials are outstanding when it comes to oversight. However, we've been down the road before with somebody who clearly and completely had no business being in the golf business. Okay? Trust me, I know. I'm not going there tonight. That's for another day. But we're hearing now, I just received an email last week from Kemper indicating that the commissioner, or the commissioner board, has initiated an engineering study at Ashbrook. And I'm assuming that that engineering study is to review the current conditions or what's causing the breakdown of conditions at the golf course, i.e. the water. Now, it's very simple, and I really don't know whether we need to allocate that kind of money or not. All we needed to do was take a ride in a cart down to behind 14 green and 15 tee box. There is a bridge there. There's a bridge there for a reason, because there's a culvert with water that flows. It's the very same culvert that channels water at the intersection of Raritan Road and Terrell Road. Very same culvert. That's where the water comes from. I can guarantee you that if the intersection of Raritan and Terrell continued to overflow to the point where it was causing safety concerns and issues involving the roadways in Union County at that intersection, that it would be addressed. Well, that is where your problem is. We don't need an engineering study to go and tell us where the problem is. The problem is right down that creek. Why wouldn't we go and investigate and take care of that little problem first before we go and spend any money, which the money that Mr. Wilson talked about in his presentation was all that work that got done and is now ruined? And we're not talking about a little bit of money. We're talking about tens of thousands of dollars, if not maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars, have been spent trying to remediate that problem with pump installation, with redoing fairways. Bottom line,
Thank you very much for your comments.
it's not getting any better.
Thank you very much.
So my question, I guess, would be to the director,
We're gonna,
why can't we do
we're gonna
that,
address,
and
we're gonna
what
address
we're
your
gonna
questions.
do?
Thank you very much for your comments. Before I pass it to the county manager, I just want to make sure we're clarifying something too. When it comes to Director Durbin Drake, she's well-versed in all matters when it comes to county's parks department. And she leads by example. Even in this new position, she hit the ground running. And any questions she has, she asks questions on. That's what a true leader does. Not thinking you know everything, asking questions also. And that's all of us, across the board. There's plenty of times I have questions too that I don't know about a certain topic. So for me personally, I believe every member of this commissioner board and every single resident who belongs to this county is truly grateful to have Director Drake as part of our parks director, because she's somebody who is working with local communities, is working with our different park system, looking at the golf courses, and making sure that any upgrades, any amendments that need to be made will be made. At this point, County Manager Oatman?
Thank you, Chair. And Director, if you want to come up also. First, does anybody else have anything to say? We do it all at once. Do you guys want to? We're good? Okay. You're frustrated. I'm frustrated as well, right? We see what's going on over there. It has to get fixed. It has to get better. I can't change the past. All I can do is talk about the future. On behalf of the board, yes, we apologize. We know there's issues with the water, issues with the clubhouse. For the study, there are state rules and DEP rules. We just can't jump into a creek and start pulling some stuff out. I mean, I get it's frustrating, but that is what we have to live with. Director, do you want to expand on any of the issues or where we're going?
Yes, thank you. I do understand the frustration. We've had the opportunity to have conversations. And I think the most important aspect we have to think about is we're looking at the problems from the macro level. We're not going to go in and make small fixes that may have negative impacts down the road. We're going to find out what the overall problem is and figure out how we address it and how we fix it. With regard to some of the capital issues that were raised, until we know exactly what our problems are, we're not going to go fix golf cart paths that may have to come up when we do a full renovation, when we get the reports back. The same with irrigation. We will do irrigation over the next year or so to help matters that exist, but we're not going to install millions of dollars of irrigation that may have to be ripped up when we have a final solution.
Thank you very much, Director. Just to add on to the comments before, we share frustration. We understand it. This commissioner board has talked to county manager. County manager is making this a priority in reference to looking at Ashbrook and looking at all our operations, working alongside Director Durbin Drake in making sure when it comes to Ashbrook or any other golf course or any other facility we have, that we're trying to do as the best as we can to make it as beneficial and useful, friendly to our residents who take part in them. Thank you very much.
Where is the accountability, though, sir?
What do you mean?
Where is
Well, there's no comments from the public, but you can come next meeting if you want to ask any questions. You can send me an email. We can have a meeting. There's no problem with that whatsoever, sir.
I would love to have a meeting.
Not a problem. I'm an open door policy.
I got no answer.
I would love to have a meeting.
We can have a meeting. That's not a problem. Anyone else from the public?
If you'd like to say